Hello friends, neighbors, John your Whiskey Neighbor here. Welcome down to the Whiskey Nook, and today I want to talk to you about GrainHenge and a particular release. They sent me this sample, Meeting Creek. This is Meeting Creek number 3. I've tasted all 3 of them and somehow I haven't run out and grabbed a bottle, and I don't know what I'm waiting for. This one is all malt, so it's really a single malt from right here near Red Deer, Alberta. It's the whiskey side of Trouble Monk Brewery. Anyways, this Meeting Creek number 3's got a variety of malts in it, including some brown and chocolate malts. It's got new oak, it's got ex-bourbon, it's got different barrels, as young as 3.5, somewhere in there, but as old as 6 years and a bit. So they're starting to get a little bit of depth in their barrel program. So let's see what we taste this. But since it's absolutely first taste, just cracked it on the short opener, I thought I better warm up my palate and just remind you guys of how great this elevator row is. I don't know, I've seen a few different bottles on the shelf. I don't know if this is one of them. I know it's sold out online, but it's also a single malt. It has only new oak. It doesn't have that chocolate malt. It's going to be quite a different profile. But I thought, let's get the whiskey taste buds going, and then I can give you a better thought of Meeting Creek number 3. Pour something, and even better, pour something from GrainHenge. If you don't have that, how about a little Canadian single malt? 3, 4. Okay, as I said in the opener, I want to warm up my palate, so I won't talk long about this, but I just love all of their bottles. They're just killer. They look so good. I should know, I'm sure they've told me before who designed their work, but man, it's really, really good. So this first whiskey, we're just going to wake up our palate with, and I'm sure it'll be a fantastic hello. It's only 43 months, so it's pretty young. It's number 3 and number 4 char. I think it's got 2-row and dark Munich malts in here. And it's 58.2%. So, this elevator row is probably going to blow me around a little bit, but I'm hoping it'll help me refine the differences. Boy, I'll tell you, tasting between whiskeys is one of the best things to really, what am I getting here? Or what's different from something else. So this is just the elevator row, this is elevator row on the nose. It's strong, it's a little bit nutty, it's sweet. It's oaky, it's almost got oak like a bourbon in the sense you got that fresh oak. And then of course you've got that nuttiness of barley for me. It's really, that's where the nose goes. A little bit of fruit, but not fruit like apple or cut sweet orchard. It's not pushing into dark cherries or reds or anything like that. All right, let's try it on the palate. Cheers. Some really nice, sorry, I rushed that. Should let it speak. But it's right away, I got some sweet graham crackers, some honeyed wafers, some vanilla wafers, some vanilla going on. And just that not breadiness, but that substance you get with some rice. It speaks elevator row. It is kind of grainy, kind of nutty, kind of husky. I better try another little sip. It's really good. I'm nursing along this bottle because I want to keep it as a comparison as their distillery grows. At 58%, this is still strong. It's alcoholic. It's got a lot of hug. But those kind of sweet graham cracker, nutty, grainy notes, all smooth, rounded, held together by a fair amount of fresh oak, is a really good. It's a Canadian single malt. Reminds me of many American single malts I've had where they're using that new white oak in contrast to that sweet creamy barley. Elevator row is a good one. It's a little bit young. Let's see where Meeting Creek goes to see if, they got some barrels in here that are as old as 6 years, 6 and a bit. Let's see what that does to the palate. Okay, the main star of the show today is Meeting Creek number 3. They just released this week, and I think, well, they did this morning anyways on their website. They have a few bottles left. So if you are at all interested in the notes that I share here, I have no idea if my bottle cap can catch a tiny little bottle like this, and I don't know if that really does justice. So I tried. So this little Meeting Creek here, you know, they sent it to me. Transparency. They said, John, share your thoughts. Tell us what it's like. And that's what I like to do. Thoughts are still my own, you guys. We'll see how it goes. This is 56.9%. And what's interesting is, you know, it's got a lot of different malts in here, and they're really clear about it in very, very tiny print. But I think there's some two-row, there's some crystal. I didn't remember seeing Munich in here, but I know they have brown and chocolate malts as well. And then they've got, for their barrel program, they've got number 2 and 3, 3 and 4. This was 3 and 4. I think this is 2 and 3. Yeah. I don't see it on here, but it's got to be on here. Oh yeah, 2 and 3, and I think the young one, like the 39-month one, is the number 2, and then the older one is number 3. That's the 6 year, and then they have some ex-bourbon that's about 4.5 years, I think, something like that. Anyways, they have all the detail on the website. Of course, it's natural, non-chill filter, and as I said, this is 56.9%. So, a Canadian single malt from GrainHenge. That's the whiskey side of Troubled Monk. On the nose, Meeting Creek. This is number 3. This is their 3rd Meeting Creek release. Yeah, and it is actually a little bit fruitier. I was going to say like richer, but yeah, this is just so kind of oaky, which is good in a good way. But this has absolute more depth in it. And some of that could be that sweeter, like toffees and caramels that you get from ex-bourbon. I'm not quite getting, I remember Meeting Creek number 2 for me had a ton of chocolate, even on the nose. Maybe I'm hunting it. Like it's there, maybe, but it's really like a dry, unsweetened chocolate right now. It's not speaking too much. Yeah, I know that, you know, the more I talk about it and get a little bit of roast coffee, a little bit of that dry chocolate. But at first, it just smelled a little bit fruitier, a little bit softer, rounder, sweeter caramel. That's comparison to this. I wish I had 1 and 2 to go by. That would be a far better comparison. Let's give this one some time on the palate. Cheers. That is a delicious malt. It has all the flavors. It's sweet, definitely chocolate. I know I was hunting for it. I was thinking about it. I read it on here. I remember it from Meeting Creek too. But the nose wasn't all that. It wasn't. But the palate is all that. It is that beautifully, you know, extra burnt roasted malt that we call chocolate malt in with some oaks, and that sweeterness, that sweet toffee on the nose and sweet caramel on the nose makes almost like a fudge in the palate. It's still strong. It's a little huggy. It's less burny than this, way less oak than this. I got to try another sip. Cheers. Oh, that is really, really, really good. I didn't pour that much because I want to try it a few times, and I don't know if I'll be lucky enough to get a bottle. But I am going to try to put just a drop of water on. Yeah, it can certainly hold up to water. It's a 56 something, but I don't have a lot in the glass, and I don't want to monster it down. I just wanted to see how it wakes up. Right now, aside from being, it is a little aggressive on the side, a little bit like hot pepper spicing, not just Christmas spicing. It's got a little bit of heat creeping around for sure. And see what the water does just on the nose. A little more malt, a little more almost the grain character I was getting here. Yeah, and it's still just got that nice sweet toffees. Almost maple syrup sweetness, a little bit. Let's try it on the palate with water. Cheers. Well, that certainly made it easier to move around the palate, a bit smoother, a bit creamier, but at the same time, it's lost some of that impression of boldness, a richness, like a thick that chocolate coffee espresso, maple syrup combination. It's still there, and it's gentler across the palate for sure. I just probably need to let it rest. You know, adding a little bit of water right on it right there, it probably just gets it a bit shook up and shocked, and that's never good. First thoughts of this, especially if you like that extra roasted malt, that chocolatey notes. This is phenomenal. It's really, really good. I know they still have some. I don't know if they ship across the country. I'm quite sure they do. Most people now in Alberta do. They certainly ship across the province. They got a few bottles of this left. At least it was on their website. For, 3 to 6, that's what we're playing in here. It's an excellent, excellent malt. Thanks for sharing it with me, you guys. And anyone, if you've had this, if you went out and got a bottle, what are your first thoughts? Just let me know. What do you think of the Meeting Creek series? Have you been down to GrainHenge? Have you talked to them? And if you guys want to come on the channel, if you guys are watching me, we got to set it up. I'd love to have you on one of those Tuesday nights. It'd be really great to hear your thoughts on what you're doing now and maybe where you're going next and how you got started and all those good things we do live. So anyways, you guys, thanks for joining me here. I'm not going to be able to connect with you guys on Sunday. I am away. I hope you have a phenomenal long weekend. And on Remembrance Day, I hope you have the time to stop and to give thanks to all of those who have served and who serve in creating peace, in ensuring that we have an amazing life here in Canada and in North America, and certainly observe a moment of peace to remember those who've gone before. You guys, have a great weekend.